Welcome to WagerTalk TV, everyone. Minty Bets here with Tony Finn at WagerTalk on Twitter and Brian Leonard at The Leonard Sports on Twitter. Give them both a follow. We're talking a little college football this Saturday, October 17th. We've got the number 4 ranked Notre Dame hosting Louisville. Notre Dame is a home favorite of 17 points, and the total is set at 63, probably floating around 63, 64 right now. Tony, let's get your thoughts first. But before we get into that, could you explain to our viewers what packages you have up this weekend at WagerTalk.com?
You can probably catch baseball every day, depending on the day you listen to this or watch this particular game preview. But NFL, college, both for week 7, week 6 in NFL. Is that right? Week 6, 5 weeks, 6 or 7. Both weeks, both leagues, college and NFL, live at WagerTalk.com, only at WagerTalk.com.
Beautiful. All right, let's get into your breakdown for this game. Who do you like?
Well, it's tough. It's difficult for me to like Louisville, even getting these points. And I think the odds makers have made some adjustments. I mean, considering the losing streak or the performance that the Cardinals have presented to us football fans, and the fact they were 5-point favorites against a team that's been really difficult for me to gauge, being Georgia Tech. But as good as Georgia Tech has looked at times this year with wins over Florida State, this isn't a team that was thought this highly of coming into the season. Second-year coach, getting away from their traditional roots of being an option team. In this game, Louisville really Coach Satterfield hasn't addressed the issue, I think, in this. It is the fact that this offense looks scattered, dysfunctional. They're turning the ball over at a rate that is not it's not typical of Satterfield and this Georgia Tech team. Even in the option, they weren't this sloppy with the football. Notre Dame's looked pretty good, guys. They've joined a conference. They joined an ACC, which is kind of historic, and how that's going to shape out moving forward. I think we all know that. I think they go right back to being independent and collecting their TV money. But my issue with this is that this Louisville offense is not doing what it does when it's at its best. It's not spreading the ball. They typically get 6 receivers involved. That hasn't happened this year. And they have not looked good in any way, shape, or form. Their only win being Western Kentucky, I believe, and that was by 14 early in the season. This is a game where I'm either on Notre Dame minus the big number, or I'm watching, and I'll be transparent right now and tell you I'm watching.
All right, Notre Dame or pass for Tony Finn. And moving on to Brian Leonard, before we get into your picks, what do you have up for Wager Talk this weekend?
Right now I've got my NFC game of the month up there for the NFL game. I think the line's going to move a little bit on, and I wanted to get that up as soon as possible. I've done very well when putting these plays up early in the week for the weekend, trying to beat these line moves. Then, of course, as the week goes on, we'll have more NFL, college football, which I've been really reluctant to give out early. And we saw another situation today where another game has been canceled in college football. So I tried to send those out later on in the week. Then baseball and baseball season. I've been pretty selective in the playoffs. And if I have any plays like Tony, I can't commit to anything. But if I do, you'll get me in the package over at WagerTalk.
Beautiful. All right. So what do you think about this Notre Dame Louisville game?
Yeah, I like Satterfield. I like the coaching staff over there at Louisville, but they just have not played well so far this year. Tony hit on it. The game last week against Georgia Tech was a game they should have had. They should have won going into that game. Everybody thought Louisville was the team to beat in that contest. It wasn't there. And Georgia Tech's been one of those teams that's been really up or down all season long. The thing that concerns me specifically about this game is the trenches here. Louisville's a team that has not done a very good job on the offensive line. There can be beat on the defensive line. And, what you can say what you want about the Irish over the years, they always build good on the lines. In the trenches, they're very good. They get really big players on the offensive line. They've got good defensive line play. I think that's the key here, is who is going to dominate the line. And I happen to think the Irish are. Problem is, when you're laying 17 points, you can always get that backdoor cover with the Louisville passing game. But, take a look at how these teams have done with sacks this year and how they protected their quarterback. On the season, Louisville is minus 7 sacks, and the Irish are +6 sacks. So that's a big differential, especially when they're early in the season when these teams have only played a few games. I think the Irish are going to control the line, and if they do that, they'll be able to cover the spread. The problem is, Tony also mentioned this, is you've got the Irish with the team. They're currently ranked number 4, but the one thing the Irish have never done, at least that I can remember, is blow out opponents. They're a team that lets the other team stay in there. I lean with the Irish here. They should be able to name the score, but I just don't trust them in that regard with my money. So like Tony, I'll be sitting this one out.
Alrighty, fair enough, guys. That was Brian and Tony. You can take $25 off any Tony Finn and Brian Leonard package 3 days or longer using coupon code TB25 when checking out. That's T as in Tony, B as in Brian, 25 when checking out. Thanks for watching, guys.